All right, we're checking out Victory at Sea Atlantic. You want to see some actual gameplay. So let's hop right into a custom battle. We have interesting options. We have the Vichy French and that's the not nice Germany of the time. Let's not use any words that are bad on YouTube that cause problems. Let's just go with the Brown Party of Germany at the time. All right, so for Germany, we're going to be giving them a carrier. I'm trying to kind of show something that was a little surprising to me. Now, I'm not sure if the U.S. has larger than 14-inch guns on any of its. It looks like it does. The 16-inch guns on the South Dakota and on the Iowa. Yeah, well, let's throw in an Iowa. So theoretically, a matchup like this would, in World War II, definitely favor the carrier, especially since this is like the Graf Zeppelin was actually a pretty well designed. I don't think it ever actually launched, but I'd have to take a look at that. The Iowa, very strong battleship, but by the time that they were both out, you really needed to have proper air cover to be able to deal with planes, and have a whole ring of destroyers and light cruisers and stuff to be able to shoot them apart before they could get any torpedoes or bombs onto your battleship. But we're going to show what it's like before that. All right. So we're going to see how...
Visibility good. We have smooth seas.
Thank you for that. I appreciate your announcement. So we're going to see how this would play out, at least by in-game rules. This isn't necessarily how this would have happened in World War II, based off of my previous experiences in seeing how these battles go. But this is what we'll do. And they're all just spotter aircraft. Okay, wanted to make sure. So let's get one out over here, and let's get to moving. We are at full speed. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and turn up the game speed. There we go. We're going to tell it to attack. And luckily we're able to shoot that far. This is one of the reasons why I was looking to see if there was anything larger than 14-inch guns, because the largest battleship that I had worked with up until this point had 14-inch guns. These are 16, which people familiar with the Montana and several others would probably know something about that. All right, we're going to make sure that we don't lose our spotter. All right. Carrier has not... I mean, it has been hit, but like the damage was very, very minimal. Let's see how this continues to go. We're gonna go ahead and... Okay, lost contact. Let's get the spotter back out. I'm going... Alright. Once again, keep attacking that. Let's go ahead and maybe set up a loitering command in the area. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the carrier again. So this is probably hit with a explosive round rather than armor piercing. This doesn't play like World of Warships, as an example. The armor piercing doesn't really do a lot of damage. It just allows you to penetrate through certain things. But it's not like there's a citadel associated with all the larger watercraft. You don't just get to be able to do that. They did model this really well, though, because it did have a ton of secondaries in the design. And yeah, like if you were coming up on this aircraft carrier with like a destroyer, you'd probably get chewed up by all those secondaries. Anyway, go ahead and speed it up. We are just not hitting. Hopefully we can change that. Okay, there was a really big hit right as we lost contact with it as well. I'm going to just go right at it. So this would be borderline removing oneself from life if a battleship was to do this against a carrier in late World War II timeframe when these ships could have been available. I say could because, like I said, the Graf Zeppelin, I don't think it was ever launched. Anyway, the Iowa, it's an Illinois. Oh, I was calling it an Iowa. Nah. Or, no, it's an Iowa class named the Illinois. That's how that's going. All right. So this is pretty well armored. The Graf Zeppelin here, like it's taken some strong hits and been burning for. Okay, here we go. We got planes coming out at us. What are torpedo bombers? Okay. Damaged catapults and all that, jeez. Okay. We're gonna slow it down. We're going to get back to our ship. We're going to cut directly in the direction of the torpedo bombers so that we have a decent chance to thread the needle between their drops if we aren't able to just shoot them down. Speed it up a little bit, but I don't want to speed it up a lot. Them sound effects, though. Alright. They're still, like, coming almost right at us. I'm trying to give it a little bit of a lead, so that maybe they'll see me going, like, more in this direction, and then try to drop into my path like that. And then, as I'm maneuvering, it throws them off. That's what I'm hoping. Or we just simply sink the carrier before it matters. Once again, this is really good to test in these sorts of games, because I came into it and I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna load up with aircraft. I'm gonna make as many fighters and bombers, and especially since, you know, this is focused on Atlantic warfare, a whole bunch of torpedo bombers and stuff of that nature. I thought it would be great. But while I was playing, it didn't actually seem to function that well. So I'm glad that you can actually go to, I'm glad that you have the availability to go to the custom settings and check it out. Like I said, Graf Zeppelin versus the Illinois, I do not think it would have panned out like this. There definitely would have been a number of flights that would have gotten off the deck and would have damaged you. Maybe the other possibility could be that the AI isn't really good at performing with aircraft, but when I gave them commands, they still performed pretty well. What I did in one of the previous ones was I went up against among the best German battleships. I went up against a Bismarck Ark Royal right here. And if you take a look, we have 15 flights of aircraft. It's saying that we have 550 damage. Like, we should have just been able to tear it apart at range. This is what happened to the Bismarck. IRL. It was taken out by low-quality torpedo planes. Like, biplanes. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to throw in a top-of-the-line super carrier with as many flights as possible with much more advanced aircraft. And it took out like half my aircraft with its 2 AA guns. So I'm not sure if they're still working on the balancing there, but it let me know right away I don't want to lean heavily on aircraft. Anyways, let's get back out of this. I'm going to show another custom battle and why I like something else. What I plan on doing is hitting them with a submarine. And you're thinking, light cruiser against submarine? Yeah, this is me getting defeated. We'll find out about that, right? So in order to demonstrate another discrepancy in game, we're going to go ahead. We're going to pick out a pretty strong light cruiser. Cruisers typically had a reasonable armament for being able to deal with submarine. Not great, but not bad either. We're going to take a Königsberg. We're going to challenge that with a E-class submersible. And let them fight.
Visibility good. We have smooth seas.
So I'm going to move very close, not super close, but very close. And go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. So this is one of the other distinct advantages of playing with a submersible. You're able to get ambushes and get positioned really, really well. Anyways, let's see how this goes.
General quarters. General quarters.
It happened. All right, let's go ahead and see how this looks. Notice how the light cruiser did not use any of its armament against us. Initially, while playing the game, I was under the impression that most light cruisers would have at least some level of anti-submarine warfare equipment. Turns out, that wasn't the case. While first playing the campaign, decided I was going to send 2 pretty decent light cruisers out to stop 2 U-boats. And it did not go well, because I couldn't hit them. You can literally shoot the heck out of the water where they're at. Just water will be splashing all over the place from where you're targeting their periscope. Some amount of damage would have happened, but no, they are immune. So I don't think it's supposed to be showing us this view, where you see the bottom end of the ship. I think it's kind of being a little weird. But here we go anyways. Welcome to Victory at Sea Atlantic. The only thing available right now is the Allied campaign. The Axis has not been unlocked as of yet. It's still a work in progress, though. So let's learn a little bit of how to play this game. Mainland Europe has fallen to the relentless advance of the Nazi war machine, and the U-boats of the German Kriegsmarine prowl the Atlantic waters, determined to cut the British Isles off from vital North American supplies. The naval and air forces of Britain and its allies are on guard to thwart the ambitions of the Kriegsmarine. As Allied convoys brave the treacherous seas, the Navy's task is to ensure their safe passage in carrying the lifeblood of the war effort to Britain. The United States remains officially neutral, but we must continue to fight on in hopes the Americans will be persuaded to join their strength to the Allied cause. Let this be our finest hour. So, we're going to get familiarized with basic combat controls. Look at that, basic maneuvers. And a crown. That's very British. I feel like maybe I should have my partner watch this. She loves watching all things British. She's really addicted to Vera right now. She gets angry when I point out that she's fallen asleep while watching it. Because she'll be doing it, like, right as she's going to bed. And she just won't make it. She's in the background laughing right now.
Look around.
All right, we will listen to them. We will look around.
Zoom in and out. Move the camera. Speed up the camera's movement. Refocus on the selected ship. Open the command wheel. Give the ship a move order. It will move to the targeted point in the sea. Give the ship a turn command. It will keep going in the ordered direction until otherwise commanded. While the ship is moving, you can also steer it.
That turn command is really great for dealing with torpedoes.
To adjust the ship's speed, use the throttle. You have completed basic maneuver training. Click continue when you are ready.
So, all ready? So far so good. It seems pretty simple, right?
Zoom in on the minimap.
All right, here's the minimap. Zoom in and stuff on it.
You may give orders to ships on the minimap by using the command wheel. Order your ship to move to the highlighted point.
We will do that, yes.
You can also speed up time. Let the ship move to the highlighted point.
16 times speed, that's the highest it goes in this map mode. I think it's 50 for the
select a gun.
Strategic map. All right, we will select a gun.
The minimap shows the gun's firing arc. There is a hostile ship nearby. Move the camera close to it.
Awaiting orders.
With a gun selected, fire on the hostile ship. Direct hit.
I recommend, while playing, that you seriously
Open the command
consider
wheel to select all gun turrets.
doing manual targeting. If you
all
know
guns
what
that
you're
can
doing.
fire at the target point will fire. Select the torpedoes. Change the torpedo spread. This can narrow and widen. Sink the hostile ship.
All right, we launched them. Let's go ahead and not wait on the torpedoes, though.
You have sunk the target.
Yay for us.
The tutorials include a full
There goes
list
the
of
torpedoes.
videos
That's why I
covering
wasn't
topics
waiting.
such as different weapon and ammunition types, launching planes, and special orders. You have
really highly
completed
recommend
basic
watching
combat
those.
training. Click continue when you are ready.
Familiarize yourself with the campaign map.
Move around the Atlantic campaign map. Zoom in and out. Select a SW Patrol 2. Open the command wheel and start a patrol. To add an extra point to the patrol route, open the command wheel at another point in the ocean and hold the Q. Attack the enemy submersible. Enemy fleet spotted. If your target is the last known position of an enemy fleet, your fleet will head towards the last known position.
Now we got to engage it.
You can speed up time as the fleet closes the distance. Close on the target.
See, you can do 50 times speed on. So the other one was pretty significant. 16 times. But 50
We have
times speed, you
encountered
can
the
really-
enemy.
What are they? Which... Ah. They're going to lose this. Yeah. fighters against
Aircraft
spotters.
lost.
Get back to what we were doing here.
We have encountered the enemy.
All right, we caught up to them. And look, we lost all of our planes, and they lost 2.
Aircraft lost.
So I would say that they probably have better fighters at the beginning than the Hawker Hurricanes. Unfortunately, we can't control those planes as of yet, because we are locked into this portion.
We have encountered the enemy.
All right. So it's us with our 2 corvettes, armed with all sorts of depth charges and hedgehogs and small main guns against 1 submersible.
This is the start combat screen. You currently have 2 squadrons. Click and drag one ship out of the squadron list. Drag the ship onto the... This squadron is in a column formation, meaning they will move in single file. Change the formation to a line formation. The fleet will then move into the new formation. Hold the rotate button to change the facing of the squadron. The last known position of the enemy is shown here. When you are ready, you can click here to start the battle.
So, while the submarines might have an issue in terms of targeting something that's too close, we do not have that same issue.
Once a submerged enemy has been detected, its last known position will be shown on the minimap. Open the command wheel and order the corvettes to attack the target.
So we can get both of them by taking squadron... we can get both of them by taking squadron beer and then telling them to attack.
Fire at will.
Reduce speed to spot the sub, as loud engines can affect submarine hunting. In the faster classes of ship have a red speed band. At these speeds, engines are so noisy that sonar is not usable. Select the ship's depth charges. Their firing arc shall be shown on the minimap. This submarine is trying to continue attacking with both corvettes until the submarine is destroyed.
Alright. What you saw first was the hedgehogs. The other one is getting into range. I have them doing depth charges at all different levels. Crush depth, medium depth, and then periscope depth.
Breaking formation.
And we will do the same here. They probably dove to crush depth. We'll go ahead and speed things up. A hedgehog again. Depth charges there.
All hands, man battle station.
We're going slow so that we can track their position a lot easier.
Sonar reports distant contact.
Not distant, it's right under you, dude. You're literally on top of it.
Sonar reports distant contact. Sonar reports distant contact.
So it's not too difficult to make a sub unable to position itself at all if you're able to get the jump on. Getting the jump on a sub, though, can be difficult. But still, if you can force it under, you can really mess with it.
You have
And by
completed
messing with
basic
it,
anti-submersible warfare training. Return to the campaign map when ready.
you can see what I mean by messing with it. So we didn't take any damage, didn't lose any craft, and we were able to sink a U-27. Now we're going to go over campaign mechanics.
Here is the information critical to the war effort, showing your current supplies, food, and recruits. Recruits are used to crew newly constructed ships and aircraft. This counter shows when more resources will be produced.
It fills up.
Click on the objectives icon. You will see the current objectives that need to be completed. Once the first phase of objectives are completed, new objectives will appear. Clicking on an objective will trigger a tutorial if appropriate. Click on the Build a Factory objective.
It's nice that it's no longer doing the black and white version.
On the Industry panel, click on the
I said
Factory
that, and then
Build
it goes
button.
back to it.
Click a slot to start constructing a factory.
So, my thought process on factory construction. Going over here in Wales, this is no problem because we can have aircraft from here be able to cover it, and aircraft from here. I do not want to put my factories right up front, though, especially as they're more vulnerable that way. But yeah, we will throw one right down right here. And we have 3 power generated and 2 used, so it should be fine. So now we are told to build a farm and commission a ship.
On the Industry panel, click on the Farm Build button. Place the farm in a location of your choice.
We only have 1 power use here, so we can definitely get something going on with that. That's the farm built. Now let's go ahead and commission a ship. Let's go Portsmouth. And I would like to get a new submarine. Was it the T I was really liking? I think it was. So, commissioning a T-class submersible takes 9 days. We use 45 supplies, 48 recruits, and 48 food. We have a considerable amount of that, so that should be just fine. And we completed the quest. Now we got to build an intelligence station and a laboratory. So, intelligence station first.
On the Industry panel, click on the Intelligence Station Build button. Place the intelligence station in a location of your choice.
We'll go ahead and go right up here in Yorkshire. We did it! Now a laboratory.
On the Industry panel, click on the Laboratory Build button. Place the laboratory in a location of your choice.
I pretty much fill up the map with these. Alright, merge 2 fleets.
Select Force 2. Order Force 2 to merge with Force 1. Allow the 2 fleets to merge.
All right, before we do that, we're going to go ahead get a lot more stuff being built in all the areas that we can that don't already have it. So we need some airfields. Let's get one going here. We already have one right here, so that covers those two sides. I want to get one up north. And that could connect with what we have set up in Iceland. So we should be able to have just about everything covered. Then we're going to start going with a bunch more laboratory. The reason for that is because it allows us to unlock technologies far faster. And that's how we get what we need. You can make what you have actually be... Oh, nope, we can't do that there. You can make what you actually have be more productive. So you can make it so that your power plants produce more power, as an example. So going for more advanced tech really does pay off. Alright, and then did I do... I mean, maybe I should do one in Ireland? Nah. I'll do a laboratory, and then maybe later on I'll end up doing airport. Alright. I'm happy with that situation. We're going to go ahead real quickly, and we're going to build a couple more ships. Alright, now to follow up, we've gone ahead and built a Liberty class cargo ship in each of the as well naval yards. So we have much less supplies, but they actually, that's how we're able to gain our supplies from North America here, is by bringing it via convoy. So we're investing. All right, so they want us to merge these. So let's go ahead and bump up that speed. Battleship and a cruiser getting together.
Click the Combined Fleet Rename button. Choose a name for this fleet. The future of this war now depends on you. It is your responsibility to build up our naval strength, send forth fleets to defend the British Isles, and lay down the foundations for an Allied victory on the Western Front. Manufacture supplies in preparation for our eventual push back into Europe. Grow food to feed our growing armed forces. Enlist crew and troops to fight for their country. Expand the Allied fleet. Construct enough aircraft to claim air superiority.
So now it's going to let us know that we just gained a bunch of different ships and aircraft.